County School Board with Father Francis de Rosa from St. Elizabeth of Hungary and St. Anthony Catholic Church to bring the invocation.
In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. Blessed be the name of the Lord, now and forever. Brothers and sisters, listen to the words of the book of Sirach. If you wish, you can be taught. If you apply yourself, you will be shrewd. If you are willing to listen, you will learn. If you give heed, you will be wise. Frequent the company of the elders. Whoever is wise, stay close to him. Be eager to hear every godly discourse. Let no wise saying escape you. If you see a man of prudence, seek him out. Let your feet wear away his doorstep. Reflect on the precepts of the Lord. Let his commandments be your constant meditation. Then he will enlighten your mind, and the wisdom you desire he will grant. Let us pray. Blessed are you, Lord God of mercy, who through your Son gave us a marvelous example of charity and the great commandment of love for one another. Send down your blessings upon these your servants, who so generously devote themselves to helping others. When they are called on in times of need, let them faithfully serve you and their neighbor. We ask this through Christ our Lord. In the name of the Father, and the Son, and the Holy Spirit.
Thank you so much. Now can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance in a moment of silence? Oh, wait, we have a special?
Yeah.
Ooh, Stilson Elementary School 5th grade science students with Mrs. Redmond. Please come forward. We're going to lead the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, thank you. They can come back up if you like for a quick. Just tell us your name and what grade you're in. And what do you like about science?
Say your name.
Who?
My name is Sophia, and I am in 5th grade.
And what do you like about science?
I don't know.
What was your favorite experiment? The last one we did, light. So say like this one.
My favorite experiment was the light experiment that we did.
Very cool. Thank you.
I'm Addie, and I'm in 5th grade, and my favorite thing about science is the light experiments.
My name is Skylar. I'm in the 5th grade, and my favorite experiment was the trebuchet we did in the beginning of the year.
Very cool. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Thank you, Mrs. Redmond. Okay. No, do what? Did you want to say something, Mrs. Redmond?
Oh, if you want to pause it. Okay. So I only had a few of my students come with me, but I had several of them who wanted to let me record a little snippet about what their favorite part of science class is. And the way I teach science is very project-based and hands-on learning. So we do quite a bit of science experiments. And so when they talk about what they like about science so much, it's probably going to mostly incorporate all of the experiments we do. So here's a little highlight about several of the experiments we've done this year. Thank you.
Thank you. That was a great idea that she had.
Please see.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate having the opportunity to show you guys some of the cool stuff that we do at Sealston in 5th grade.
Ms. Redmond, thank you for being awesome. Thank you.
Well, you're very welcome.
Mrs. Redmond, I have a question. I had the honor of being there for that day with the trebuchet, and it was fantastic. But one of the things that you and I talked about then was that you were going to get your dad to build a bigger one. Is that happening?
The plan. I don't know. Let's ask.
I don't know. He just left.
Convenient. Yes, the plan is to make a larger one so that we can.
There he is.
He's not hiding anymore. The idea is to make a bigger one so that we can test a wider range of force and motion for the kiddos.
Good, great. Thanks for being here, Mark.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Anybody
I
else?
appreciate it.
Okay, thank you. Okay, moving forward, we have Eduham Online National Competition winners, Mr. Kibler. Please come forward. And this is, well, he'll tell you about it. Look at those medals.
Good evening. Gilder Lerman, based out of New York. It's a history organization, does a national competition every year where students need to perform an original skit in the world of Alexander Hamilton. Irissa, Aska, and Carrie all produced a skit that was judged by the judges at Gilder Lerman to be one of the 10 best in the country. And they have been gifted a trip to New York City where they will watch Hamilton in person.
Wow. Any comments from the board? Any board comments?
Okay.
Well, I think Carrie has one, y'all. Sorry. Ms. Scott.
I was just wondering if we can see some of this. Can we see some of the acting here?
Unfortunately, I didn't send the video ahead of time.
Okay. Congratulations, guys. Have a great time.
Oh, we want.
Yeah, Mrs.
to come forward for a picture?
And then I'll stop.
That's okay.
Yeah, man, 10. Mr. Kibler? We have, did you want to say something?
I just want to say good job.
Yeah, 10 out,
That's
10 out of the whole country?
It's really awesome.
That's
Wow.
I know. Can you send us some? We want to see it.
Please do, yeah, okay. Dr. Boyd.
Actually, all of our addresses are on
Thank
the.
you. Congratulations.
Thank you, congrats, guys, good job.
Congratulations.
They made top 10 out of, what did you say, 12,000? Couple thousand others. So that's awesome. And thank you so much for representing King George so well. Moving on to the VSBA art contest.
Yes, Madam Chair, I'll go ahead and make mention of the VSBA art contest. Every year, King George County Schools participates in a regional art contest. This year, we had our applicants present, and we were recognizing those applicants at our regional art forum. So we had an opportunity as school board members to really see their art and see how it compared to others in our community. And as always, King George County Schools does an amazing job. So I'd like to recognize those students. When I call your name, please come on up front. And then we'll take a picture with the entire group once everyone comes up. Also, Ms. Scalf here has a certificate for you as well. So first up is Fiona Scott, who placed third place in the elementary category for the region. Let's give her a round of applause. Kevon Riley Jr. Not here? Okay. Olivia Jeter. Please come forward. Congratulations. Andrew Abney. Adeline Kinchinoli. Am I saying that right? Huh? Kinslow? Kinslow. Kinslow. I'm sorry. I'll get it right. Jordan Lavelle. Nathaniel Watson. Cabry Lucas. And finally, Kiera Abnador Rivera. Please come forward. All right, congratulations, guys. Please tighten up and we'll take a picture with you.
Take one step away from the wall. One step first. Smile, and then you're going to say, wait there. They can take pictures.
All right, congratulations, guys.
All right, now moving on to public comment. I'm going to read my disclaimer real quick. Sorry, I got you. If you would like to speak during public comment but have not yet signed up, please do to see the clerk now. Public comment is an opportunity for community members to share matters they believe deserve the board's attention. It is not time for a one-way communication to the board. I'm sorry. Ms. Parks, you could have just waved at me. I would have signed you. It's not for form or dialogue or debate. All speakers are treated equally, and comments should be courteous, respectful, and related to the school's division, services, or policies. Audience members are expected to maintain proper decorum. Speakers will be recognized by the chair and asked to state their name, their connection to the school division, and their district. Each speaker has up to 3 minutes to comment. Our first, speaker is Pastor Sherman Davis from Tabernacle Baptist Church.
Yes, my name is Sherman Davis. I'm working on my 50th year next year at Tabernacle Baptist Pastor, and I appreciate this board, and I vote in the Dahlgren district. The inspired, infallible, inerrant Word of God says in Deuteronomy 6 and verse 6 and 7, "These words which I command thee this day shall be in thine heart, and thou shalt teach them diligently unto thy children, and shalt talk of them when thou sittest in the house, and when thou wakest by the way, or walkest by the way, and when thou liest down, and when thou riseth up." So the Word of God is to be taught when you go to bed, when you get up, and during the day, and it's supposed to teach it diligently to your children. Bible says in Proverbs 22, "Train up a child in the way he should go, and when he is old, he will not depart therefrom." And we think about teaching children properly. The Bible says they won't depart from that knowledge. In other words, when you teach a child, they'll always remember what they were taught when they were children. I am here tonight to thank this school board. Thank you, Ed Frank. Thank you, Carrie Cleveland. Thank you, Rachel Scott. Thank you, Kathy Hoover. And thank you, Colleen Davis, for standing in the gap and for holding up standards for our children that I believe that they will remember the rest of their lives. We're living in a day where the Bible says that men's thinking is vain, that men's thinking is, his imaginations is vain, uncleanness in their thoughts, vile affections, reprobate minds without God. And so man has created himself to be a little God, what he thinks he's God. And so we're thankful for a school board that have principles and standards and want to live by what they believe that the Word of God teaches. And I'm very thankful for you tonight. And Mr. Superintendent, Mr. Dr. Boyd, you also. And we've been talking in our community about how much we appreciate you. I think we have folks here tonight that might want to stand and say thank you for this number right here. Stand up and give them a hand. Stand up. Stand up. Amen. If you appreciate our school board, say thank you. Amen. And our teachers. We rejoice in the goodness of God and what He has accomplished in your lives. And as the oldest pastor in the county, thank you. And the students, thank you for being here representing the student body. We appreciate you, and God bless you. We love you. Need me, ever need me, holler, and I'll be there. Thank you.
Thank you, Pastor Davis. Next, we have Stephanie Marcish. Did I say that right?
Hello, my name is Stephanie Marsage. I reside in the Monroe District, and I'm a parent to children in the King George school system. I'm here today regarding policy JBB and the GSA Club. The denial of the club's formation and passage of the policy do nothing except harm a portion of the student population by further isolating them and treating them as others. These students are not whining. They are asking to be included in their school community. They are asking to be allowed to participate in their school culture as themselves, not as a version of themselves that this board is forcing on them. This board is quick to accept the accolades of community members who have never had children in the King George school system, but resistant to respond to the real concerns of parents and students who are. These students cannot shake off who they are for the comfort of the board. They cannot focus on the positives and the other good things this board is doing because they are too busy wondering if they are going to be bullied at school that day or if other policies targeting them are going to be implemented. GSA clubs have been shown to reduce feelings of isolation in LGBTQ students and promote a sense of belonging. This board is more worried about what outside members of the community will say about them than they are about addressing the needs of the students inside the school system. If even one student feels isolated at school or feels that they don't belong, this board has failed.
Thank you. Ms. James Hamray. Mr. James Hamray. Am I saying it wrong? No. Hamray?
Yeah, James Hamry.
Hamray, how it looks.
I'm here. The King George Democratic Committee supports fair LGBTQ plus policies in our county schools. Our committee reviewed and approved a resolution stating some principles regarding the school policy manual and objectives. The school division is committed to excellence in education, equality of educational opportunity, and the recognition of each student's individuality. As much as students differ in their rate of physical, mental, emotional, and social growth and vary in their needs and abilities, learning opportunities are provided that are consistent with personal development and potential. Whereas mental health and safety of all students are a shared responsibility of the community, parents, and schools. Whereas the multiple national and Virginia health studies have shown that LGBTQ plus youth are particularly at risk of mental health problems, self-harm, suicide resulting from isolation, bullying, and harassment within the schools. And whereas the school board's enactment of policy JBB and its decision to block a Gay and Straight Alliance club at our middle school discriminates against further isolates LGBTQ plus students and their families. And whereas these policies were implemented without adequate broad public review and discussion, and without the concern on the emotional statements made by the students, families, and concerned educators at public board meetings, and without subsequent private meetings with the families. And whereas the King George administrators and school board members have heretofore otherwise promoted excellence, innovation, and fairness within our schools and among students at all levels for both curricular and non-curricular programs and activities. Therefore, it is resolved that we, the King George Democratic Committee, support and join with our local citizens and support several reforms of school board policy and actions. Number one, policy JBB, that the board take action to reform or withdraw policies that result in formalized discrimination, undermines student safety, and contradict established mental health guidance on benefits of affirming students' identities. Secondly, Gay Straight Alliance, the board is encouraged to provide a GSA club at the middle school to promote respect, understanding, and reduce student isolation. Be it further resolved that we, the King George Democratic Committee, will collaborate with local schools, the community, affected students and families, and relevant organizations to advocate for these reforms and to affirm that student health and safety are priorities. Approved March 10th, 2026. Thank you.
Julie Gibson.
Julie Gibson, James Monroe District. I wanted to start off by thanking the 5 of you who voluntarily took on this job And although it sometimes might feel like a thankless job, you are all appreciated. When people are happy and satisfied, they're quiet. They don't come out to say so. It's always the very small, very loud group that continue to complain about the decisions you all have made. They call you names, racist, bigot, homophobe, same people calling you the same names. I supported, endorsed, campaigned for every single one of you. I voted for you, Carrie Cleveland. I voted for you, Ed Frank. I supported you, I voted for you, and you are doing exactly what I voted for. I wanted to know if other people in the community felt the same I did and what your positions are on the club. So I went out and asked. I have hundreds of signatures for people in the community that in a very short period of time that I was able to obtain, and people calling me every day asking where they can sign to support your position on these clubs. Where can they sign up? You are supported in the community by the parents, students, and community members. Don't let yourself get bullied by a small minority with threats of lawsuits or running to media outlets exploiting their kids to get their way. Keep doing the job we elected you for because you are supported. Thank you.
Thank you. Bonnie Bailey.
Hello, my name is Bonnie Bailey. I'm a resident of Shiloh District, and I'm here in support of the Gay Straight Alliance. I appreciate this opportunity to share my view based on living through a period of fear and denial I would not like to see repeated for students, parents, and the community. I grew up as a child in the 50s, watching TV shows like Father Knows Best, Leave It to Beaver. It was a time that did not include gay or trans people, as if they did not exist, which of course is not the case. Gay and trans people have been an integral part of humanity since the ancient Greeks were writing poetry, and has been documented in other areas of the world from 2000 to 5000 BC. Mother Nature's rule is our differences are our strengths. No one gives us a menu of traits to select from before we're born. Each of us is born a unique enigma and should be respected as such. As we work individually and collectively to learn more about who we are and how we live our best life, that's the job, to learn, discover, and grow for children, parents, and the community. No one has or will have all the answers. Being gay or trans is likely new to parents as well as teens. What better place to make a path for both students and their parents to learn, discover, and grow than our schools? A school-based activity can help ensure learning is based only on credible data, such as peer-reviewed literature, and possibly invite speakers on relevant topics to discuss and answer questions. Event summaries could be made available to help other teens and parents seeking information as the club becomes more established. Perhaps the greatest benefit of the club is to provide a safe place to ask questions and discuss issues with kindred spirits who genuinely understand what a teen is going through. For the school not to have this resource is to abandon teens who may not have anywhere else to go to find their footing in humanity, and for their parents who all this is new to them. For the school to have this resource and then take it away is even worse. To give hope and then take it away. I hope you will provide this resource for your teens and in turn their families and our community to show grace and help shut down ignorance and cruelty. To be an ostrich and stick your head in the sand and run for cover isn't going to solve anything. We need the courage to address inconvenient truths and work together to understand, to grow and discover and learn. Thank you.
Thank you. PC Collins.
Madam Chair, distinguished members of the board, students, superintendent, and Ms. Aaron. I thank you all for allowing us to come and speak in regards to the GSA Club. My thoughts are very simple. So the Lord made man and the Lord made woman. He didn't make mistakes. But what he did do is give us free will. So when folks decide to alter that plan of male and female, they are using their free will. Free will is not always good, it's not always bad. But it is a sin. If you read the Bible, this is a sin. Bottom line. I don't care where you're at. It's in there. And if you don't believe that God made this earth and all of us people, then there's nothing that we can do to help you. This is a nation. This is a Christian nation built on Christian values. King George is a Christian county built on Christian values. You do have a small group of people that are using their free will to try to send you on another path that's not real, right, or just. I ask you to stay strong and proud. I know what it's like to be up there when people are firing away at you, but just remember of your values, what you were taught when you were young, and stick with those values. Thank you and have a good evening.
Thank you. Paula Wormy. Did we butcher it both meetings? Is it Wormy? Worma. You said wormy, I said worm. It's Worma.
See, my name is Paula Worma, and I'm from the Dahlgren District. And I want to address something I've noticed with some parents and students regarding the board's decision to not allow a Genders and Sexualities Alliance Club, and that is the correct name of the proposed club. It's not Gay Straight, it's Genders and Sexualities Club. Anyway, it's understandable that parents whose children were interested in the club and the students themselves feel disappointed or believe the decision is unfair. Some have also questioned the board's motives. Those feelings are rare and they should be acknowledged. At the same time, it's important to acknowledge that the board's view is not that these students don't need or deserve support, but that a student-led club is not the best setting at the middle school level to address these issues. The superintendent has made it clear that he is genuinely concerned for these students and has an open door policy, and that counselors and teachers are also available to work directly with parents and students to provide guidance and support. It must also be acknowledged that no one is saying these students do not matter or shouldn't receive help. Everyone agrees they do, and their well-being is important. The disagreement is about the setting for providing that support, not whether it should exist. But now, even after the board has carefully considered the issue and adopted a policy, some continue to question the decision and question the board's motives, making unfounded accusations that the decision is based on bigotry or hate, rather than genuine concern for the well-being of students. At some point, this stops being a discussion about policy and becomes political pressure, bullying, and harassment directed at the board. That kind of behavior shifts the focus away from what matters, which is student well-being, and turns the conversation into conflict and personal attacks. The board's role is to make decisions based on evidence, student needs, safety, developmental appropriateness, and other considerations I'm sure there's a lot I'm not aware of, and persistently challenging those decisions personally rather than discussing policy respectfully undermines the process. So whatever the motive, repeatedly attacking the board personally over a policy decision that rather than engaging in reasoned discussion is not productive, and it distracts from making thoughtful policies that serve the students. The board members and superintendent deserve the respect to make careful decisions without repeated attacks or political pressure. That's how we ensure policies serve students and not agendas, and keep our schools focused on learning and academic success. Thank you.
Thank you, Paula. Ms. Susan Park.
Hello, my name is Susan Park, and I'm the parent of 2 students who attend King George schools. I'm here to speak in support of the GSA Club at the middle school and in opposition to the trans student policy as it currently exists. I have stood here regularly since last fall, and I plan to keep on attending. I don't expect this board to change its mind here tonight, but silence is not something I'm willing to offer. Jeannie Manford, the founder of PFLAG, the first and largest organization for lesbian, gay, bisexual, transgender, and queer people, their parents, families, and allies, said, "When you're fighting for your child, you're not fighting for an idea. You're fighting for a person you love more than you love your own life." And so I'll keep coming to these school board meetings and speaking out on behalf of my student and every student in this district who feels excluded and wonders whether they matter. I understand this board holds deeply conservative values, and I respect that you believe that you're acting in the interest of students. But I'm also asking you to extend that same belief to me, a parent who is telling you that banning this club has caused harm. It has sent a message to LGBTQ youth that they're not welcome. I've been reading a book by John Fugelsang called The Separation of Church and Hate, and I wanted to read some sections that feel particularly relevant. He writes, "Every generation of American Christians seems to find a new marginalized group to persecute. When I was a kid, it was feminists and gay people. As I grew up, the acceptable feel-good targets for Christian prejudice shifted to Muslims and illegals. Today, transgender and gay Americans, especially children, are having their moment in the crosshairs. Jesus said, 'Love your neighbor as yourself,' as a commandment, not a suggestion. And it transcends social boundaries, identities, and comfort levels. Jesus goes out of his way to preach compassion for outsiders, and Galatians chapter 3, verse 28 makes it clear that Jesus didn't discriminate against any type of person. There is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus." Jesus did not pick and choose which people were worthy of love and dignity. He welcomed everyone. So I have to wonder, if Jesus didn't discriminate, why are you? I ask this board once more to lift the ban on the GSA Club and affirm in policy and action that every student in this district is valued. Thank you.
We have a,
and my son Artemis would like to make a statement. He didn't sign up in time, but Artemis, if you're still interested in coming up.
and then we have 2 emails to read from the school board. Public email. I'm sorry? You need to sign up? You signed him up? Oh, maybe I skipped you. But, oh, Barbara, I did. I apologize. Okay, you're next. I'm sorry. Go ahead, Artemis.
Oh, go ahead, Artis.
I can't trust you to have the best interests of children at heart when I am a child, and you clearly do not have even considered my interests. America was founded on the single principle that was equality and freedom for all. If you want to hurt me and tear me down, I can't believe that you can even call yourselves Americans. I hope you know that you're fighting a battle against historically oppressed teens and kids, and I hope you're not too far gone to know how that looks. And I can only hope your cowardice isn't reflected on your community and it's only reflected on you.
Thank you, Artemis. And then Mrs. Barbara Gabbaro.
Hello, I'm Barbara Jane Gabbaro, and I reside in the Shiloh District. I am the Vice President of the King George branch of the NAACP. Our branch strongly opposes the JBB policy adopted by you in January and your denial of a gay-straight alliance at the King George Middle School. I will read portions of the latest national resolution that passed in 2025. Whereas LGBTQIA plus individuals continue to face disproportionate discrimination across society, including in healthcare, education, and employment, undermining their dignity, livelihood, and civil rights. And whereas denying the humanity and rights of LGBTQIA plus individuals perpetuates systemic discrimination, exacerbates health and economic disparities, hinders the pursuit of equity and justice for all. Whereas LGBTQ plus youth, especially Black and transgender students, face alarming rates of bullying and harassment with restrictive policies on inclusive curricula, further compounding educational inequities and safety concerns. Whereas far-right political agendas, including Project 2025 and hostile executive orders, seek to roll back hard-won LGBTQIA plus rights by limiting healthcare, censoring education, and redefining gender to enforce a binary system, thereby threatening basic human rights and dignity. Whereas the ability to identify one's gender is a fundamental human right critical to personal autonomy, dignity, and freedom, yet is increasingly under attack by policies that seek to restrict or erase transgender or non-binary identities. Therefore, be it resolved that the NAACP unequivocally condemns all policies, practices, and initiatives that deny the humanity, dignity, and rights of LGBTQIA plus individuals. Be it further resolved that the NAACP reaffirms its commitment to advocating for civil, human, cultural, political, and economic rights of LGBTQIA plus individuals in the workplace, education, healthcare, and beyond. Be it further resolved that the NAACP supports the rights of individuals to self-identify their gender in all legal and institutional settings and opposes legislation that restricts this right. Be it further resolved that the NAACP opposes Project 2025 and similar far-right initiatives and urges governments to rescind and reject harmful policies that roll back protections for LGBTQIA plus individuals. Thank you.
Thank you, Barbara.
I have an email that I received from a constituent. Good afternoon. I'm sorry I'm unable to attend tonight's meeting. I would like to address a few items under the general topic of what does not belong in school. 1, teachers' personal political beliefs. My student currently enrolled at the middle school has been subject to her teacher making political remarks irrelevant to classwork. The same teacher is constantly sending out reminders to parents that students are not to share their political beliefs in the classroom and to maintain a respectful atmosphere when disagreeing with classmates. The same teacher has made opinionated remarks about our current sitting president and the events in the Middle East. It is not appropriate for a teacher to exercise their authority in the classroom to dismiss students' opposing views and simultaneously use it as a platform for their own. This teacher has also yelled at my student in front of the class and dismissed my student's sincerely held religious beliefs as stupid. 2, inappropriate literature. I know the schools have claimed that their libraries have locked down a certain level of inappropriate literature. It has come to my attention that there are still inappropriate books available for checkout without parental consent. My daughter has been able to do so herself in an attempt to test the system. She was informed by her teacher that parents have to opt in to be notified and to have consent requested, which contradicts what was discussed in one of the previous board meetings. There seems to be a difference of opinion of what is appropriate for middle school age students. I think this needs to be discussed further and perhaps a survey put out to parents. 3, clubs relating to sexuality. I shouldn't even have to explain this, but in no shape or form should any club based on the sexuality of school students be facilitated by a county school. It does not matter what the sexuality is. This has no place in school. School clubs should be limited to athletics or scholastic subjects. Clubs, extracurricular, and therefore should complement curriculum offered during school hours. Clubs should also have missions, goals, and transparency, full descriptions, and shared with parents upfront, requiring consent. Thank you for your time, Emily Morgan.
Thank you. And then I have one from Robert Stevenson, Dahlgren District. School Board and Chair Davis, please vote against a gender sexuality alliance club in the middle school or any school. Such a club is neither normal nor beneficial. A study from UCLA School of Law finds that 42% of transgender adults attempt suicide and 56% have engaged in non-suicidal self-injury over their lifetime. Compared to cisgender adults, transgender adults were 7 times more likely to contemplate suicide, 4 times more likely to attempt it, and 8 times more likely to engage in non-suicidal self-injury. Don't establish a venue where young, healthy minds are subject to potential indoctrination and a risky lifestyle. Robert Stevenson. Okay. There you go. See, kids, you don't want to grow up. You just want to be young and not deal with these situations. Okay. Where are we at? Thank you. Superintendent comment? Dr. Boyd?
Oh, my turn. All right. Thank you, Madam Chair. Thank you for everyone that came out tonight. It's certainly nice walking into a meeting and seeing a packed house, especially with the number of kids, and certainly everybody in the community that's come out and shared their political views. It certainly shows the strength of our community, the fabric of our community. It shows that we're a strong community. I can also tell you that in my position, I have to watch a lot of other school board meetings. And even though we have differences of opinion, the way that we can do it collegially and professionally says a lot about King George as a whole. So I certainly appreciate that. I thought Ms. Warmer, I thought you did a wonderful job of kind of summing up everything that's gone on in the last couple of weeks. So thank you for making that so concise. I certainly think that was accurate. In reference to some of the comments about the schools being a safe place, I take that to heart. Our schools are a very safe place. As I see a number of our educators speckled across this room tonight, knowing what they do, connecting with our students individually, forging lasting relationships with our students, where our students feel comfortable coming to adults in our school buildings to say, I need to talk to you about something that might not be academic. I see that every single day in our school divisions. I'm looking at educators that are here tonight that I know have been over backwards for the kids in our community to do all kinds of amazing things, some of which you've heard about this evening. So while, yes, we're wrestling with political issues and trying to figure out where we land in this, I would invite you all to come see what's happening in our schools, to come see what is actually happening on the ground in terms of what we do for children, why King George County Schools is a school division that is nationally known, why it's one that oftentimes is characterized as a very caring, family-oriented school division because of what we provide our students. Thank you all for being here this evening. I certainly hope that you can provide as much effort in stepping into our schools and providing the same level of energy in our school buildings. I would sincerely hope and pray that next week, if we put a public sign-up form up and a volunteer sheet form up next to it, we would have just as many signatures. It would be greatly appreciated. So thank you, Madam Chair, and that's all I have this evening.
Thank you. Moving on to changes to the agenda. No changes? All right. Now we have our presentations. The school board, preschool update. Mrs. Lori, or no. Is that you? Oh, okay. Thank you all for showing up. Appreciate it.
Me and Miss Harris and Miss Howard. It's a whole crew of us, really. So I know that we have talked over the last couple years about a preschool plan, and Dr. Boyd and the many of us at the school board offices, as well as all of the schools, have been talking all year about kind of the plan moving forward. We know that you all really wanted us to move our preschool programs into their home schools. So as of right now, we do have a plan to do that. So we have our preschool plan with all of our 3 mascots there. Thank you, Ms. Cowan, for helping me with my technology. So we have a plan to begin this. However, we don't have the space and personnel in all of the buildings to be able to house all of our students. So for now, we have a plan that will work, but we may need to think about future needs to grow our program and be able to offer preschool to more students and get them ready for kindergarten. So in saying that, here's the beginning stages. So PES and SES are ready for preschool programs. The administrators and teams there are all on board. We're ready to work together to have preschool in the buildings. Again, though, we can't fit all of our preschool programs. So as of right now, we have ECSE classrooms, which are early childhood special education classrooms. So 2 classrooms with teachers in pairs would go to Potomac, and then 2 classrooms with teachers in pairs would go to Sealston, while 2 of those classrooms would stay at King George Elementary School. Those would all be students at their home-based schools. And then the Head Start program, which is located in the school board offices now, would relocate to King George Elementary. So they would have 2 classrooms there with their family service coordinator. And then our Virginia Preschool Initiative would also stay at King George Elementary School. Head Start and VPI would have all 3 zone students for right now. And so we're looking at, as the program is kind of getting going, we're going to be changing some program times as well in order to service more students and be able to transport them efficiently. This is a change from past programming, but again, as our students' needs grow, we just have to change with that. So we currently have a 8:30 to 1:30 program, but again, in order to service those needs, we're going to make a morning session and an afternoon session, Monday through Thursday. So you would have a Monday 8:30 to noonish session and then a 12 to 3:30 session, which is really in line with our community as well, with preschools there servicing 3 and 4-year-olds also. So that's really just the summary of what's happening, where as we are starting to move these parts where lots of questions are coming up. But like I said, Ms. Harris is working with all the principals and myself. Ms. Howard is working with the special education staff that's in all the buildings. So do you have any questions?
Yes, I do.
Okay.
Number 1, are we ready for this?
Well, yes. I mean, everybody is a go on it. I think transportation has some concerns about making sure they have enough, but, hoping that drivers will pick up shifts and different things like that in order to do this.
Okay, well,
go ahead.
As you know, my goal is to have universal pre-K.
I know.
But, I want to make sure that the pre-K that we have is adequate, is the best that we can have, And also, you said that the Head Start is going to stay at King George Elementary.
Mm-hmm.
Are we going to take that over, or is Fredericksburg still running the Head Start?
So Fredericksburg is still running that. They have so Head Start is a grant, and they have the grant currently for 5 years. So right now, King George, they're running King George Head Start with King George students.
Is that VPI also?
VPI is run by us.
Okay. All right. Well, I guess we're still back to the preschool. Are we ready to do this? I mean, we all want it, but are we ready to do it?
We're ready. I think we're seeing that even though we're moving into the schools, I don't know if, I'm trying to think of the right words here. I don't know if we're going to be able to expand as much as we kind of thought that this was going to, what we were hoping to do is to be able to offer preschool within our home schools to more of our community. Because of the limited space in the buildings, I do think that eventually is going to be a concern. But King George L right now is also packed. So I know that the school board offices is not like, you know, those kids over there, there's 2 classes left. They're not with other kids. So they are our students, even though they're run by Fredericksburg City, there are King George students that, live and reside here. So, a better place for them would be in the schools or with other kids, with other preschoolers. So I do think it's good for them to get out of the school board offices because of that reason. There's resources and supports in schools that's just different. You know that. They're in an office building right now, and their staff and students would thrive, I think, in a school building. However, the room for all of us is not all in one place, and it kind of limits how we're doing it.
I have all the trust and confidence in the world in you guys, and I'm sure that you will put forth the best that you have. I just want to make sure that, it's the right time.
That's a hard question. I think it's a good question. I think ideally we can do it, and it's going to be a good program. I think our staff are amazing at all the schools. Not only preschool staff, but elementary staff and administrators are going to bring it in and bless it. However, I do think that we're going to get to a point where it's too big to manage, and I think that was one of the goals of a couple years ago, kind of talking about like a center for just early childhood. So, but we will do whatever you want us to do.
We want to do what's best for the students.
I know. I think it's good for students to be in their home schools. I think King George Elementary has embraced preschool and knows like it's just a part of it there. And I think it will become a part of Sealston and Potomac, just like it is at King George L. And I think it'll be loved and great. I think it's also just a different kind of ball game, and the preschool parents are different. Their babies going off to school, even though their kindergartners are babies too. I think it's just a little bit different. So I think it's going to be a big change for everybody.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Ms. Cleveland?
Yeah, so you had mentioned something about, I guess, the ability to manage it at the school level, the individual school levels. And I mean, have we looked at the staffing of it? And
yeah, I'm sorry, I just mean, eventually as it's growing and kind of the roles we're all playing right now. So we're trying to kind of figure that out. We're all in one area right now. We do have teachers on administrative assignment who are working with like different parts of the preschool now. When we took the coordinator position, we did those positions. So they're going to be supporting each of the buildings under Angie for the elementary part of it, and then under Kate Howard for the special education part of it. So, and then the administrators within the building will be managing the groups of students within the building.
yeah, so it's going to be a transition, I guess, yeah. So I am also a huge advocate of universal education for our 4-year-olds. And so this is really exciting for me to see. But I guess I was trying to understand the split of the day.
Yeah.
And so is the reason for the split of the day to be able to accommodate more students? And is that split needed now? Or would that be later when we have more students?
We did think about that, but it is needed now with the amount of students that we have at the schools. And the possibility, like the early childhood special education program has to be open to growth at any time. So if they're at their home schools, like right now, Potomac is not maxed, but like they have a high amount of like 4-year-olds. So our 3 and 4-year-old teachers might have to, we might have to do a little bit of mixing or combining or some movement there, things that we haven't done in the past. So we have always kind of talked about doing a half-day program because it is more in line with the community the last couple of years, but I know like it's just been a struggle with transportation and we've still been able to do it. But with this move, we kind of thought, well, if we can do the half-day program. I think the teachers are concerned about the tightness of that, but going from one program with nothing in the middle, although they're going to have their planning and things on Fridays because we're going to do a Monday through Thursday straight day. But it's still a long day with little ones.
Yeah, that is a long day.
We just don't have for universal preschool too, like you talk about, like there's just not enough room in all the buildings to say we're going to have all 4-year-olds for Potomac.
Talked about shuffling some resources too in terms of, we've had a series of meetings. We've had a number of meetings leading up to this. We have current staff that are going to follow some of these students to Potomac Elementary School in Sealston. We've also talked about shifting some resources so that we can meet some other staffing needs that we have. I think we all in our meetings are interested in universal preschool. Space is obviously a big factor. And all of the programs that we currently have, early childhood, special education, Head Start, and VPI, are funded programs. Any students outside of those programs would be a cost to the local school division, which is also a big hurdle that we would have to address if we decided to go that route, outside of our other challenges, staffing and space.
I love the idea of universal preschool. I think that's an amazing, but I don't necessarily know if we're not there yet, but I think if that's a goal, I would love that to be a goal of ours, it sounds like it is, but that would be giving every child in the community preschool. So that would be awesome.
Lori, just one more question.
Yeah.
Angie's back there too. So we're talking about space.
Mm-hmm.
And having the space. The only school we have right now that is not close to space is the middle school, correct?
The only place that what?
Middle school has a lot of space.
Extra space. Well, in terms of enrollment versus capacity.
Yes.
And now Casey would not agree with that. He's shaking his head back there.
Well, when you look at the numbers, it is anyway. So, and this is just a thought, because we would probably, I don't know what the citizens would say, but a thought of moving the 5th graders to the middle school, how would that, that's something that, may not even work. I taught high school. I didn't, may not, and parents, I don't know whether they would even, consider it or not. But, we're talking about space.
Yeah. That's a bigger discussion, I think, a different discussion than just with the elementary students. I think that requires a little bit more. We can certainly go back and look at that.
We vetted the idea a little bit, actually, when we were talking about
threw lots of things out there.
We were talking about our elementary capacity a couple years ago when our enrollment continued to climb. We were considering those options. I can tell you, anecdotally, having conversations with people, 5th graders with 8th graders caused some level of trepidation. But in terms of sheer numbers, the middle school is rated for 1,500 and I think 10 or somewhere in that ballpark. It's currently crested over 1,000. So I know Dr. Nice, how he feels about this and how we are spread out. Because some of the middle school is very much like Potomac Elementary School in that it might have that number, but to find those nooks and crannies is not as easy either. So there's a lot to that conversation, the social adjustment for 5th graders. But in terms of numbers, adding and subtracting those numbers makes sense.
Well, yeah, what you're talking about, putting 10-year-olds with 13-year-olds. So, and that's what, you're the professionals there, what that is.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure that would be a good idea, but.
I don't know. Yeah. Things that were also thrown out is add on to the VOTEC, and VOTEC could become part of an early childhood, thing. There was, one of the teachers threw out, well, if we're building another elementary school, that could be pre-K to something, and then, lower elementary, upper elementary. But that all requires
Money.
Yeah. Money. Yeah. So, this is, kind of where we are, so that I think there's definite positives for our students with special education needs to be in their home schools, and those administrators and teachers getting to know them and their needs, and the transition being very easy, and not easy, but smoother than it would be. I think that's been a benefit at King George Elementary. That's the bonus that I see when I talk about this. I think, seeing those students just walk right in that struggled, they're always going to struggle with transition, but that made it easier. Universal preschool, it's not, but I think it's so it's whatever our goal is.
Yeah, this is probably a step forward. I think this is just, we already have a preschool, the VPI and all that is already here. So it's not like we're starting from scratch at each school but it's going to happen. We're going to have universal preschool soon enough. Ed said he's going to live until we do. So it's very soon.
Let's do it. All preschoolers.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for all you do. You're fantastic. Thank you.
He said he was staying on the school board till then. I was trying to be funny. Thank you, ladies. Thank you. All right. And moving on to the CTE Advisory Committee Annual Report. All the good stuff that's going on in our schools.
Good evening, Dr. Boyd, Mrs. Chairman, school board members, and student representatives. My name is Kim Chuslow. I'm one of the assistant principals at the high school, and I have the pleasure of supervising the CTE department. I also have with me Terry Rinko, who is our work-based learning specialist, and I'm sorry, it just went blank. You're waving at me. I'm like, what? And Erin is with us as well, and she is I always supervisor of secondary instruction. We call ourselves, just so you guys know, the three-pronged stool, because without the three of us, CTE, we kind of hold it all together. So that's how we talk about ourselves. So sorry. In February, we celebrated nationwide as Career and Technical Education Month. It's a time to celebrate the achievements and accomplishments of our CTE programs. We appreciate that you gave us the opportunity to do that this evening so that we could showcase all the great things that are happening. I would first like to publicly thank all of our amazing CTE teachers at both the middle and high schools. They give tirelessly in their classrooms during the school day and also into the evenings and weekends to ensure our students are provided with high quality instruction, as well as the opportunity to participate in their respective organizations, competitions, and community service projects. I am confident to report to you that our CTE students are well on their way to being prepared to join not only King George and Virginia's highly skilled workforce. In addition to their work in the classroom, our students are putting King George on the map in their CTSO competitions. This evening, I would like to recognize our CTSO winners that will be competing at not only the state, but the national levels this year. First, I would like to have Mrs. Strauss come up and recognize our DECA winners.
Good evening. It's my pleasure to share with you on the screen here all of our wonderful winners at our state leadership conference that occurred at the last couple of days of February and the 1st of March. First off, Grace Zook won as the Virginia DECA president.
Wow, yeah.
Ruth Louise Page won a scholarship from Virginia DECA, which is awesome. On Saturday night after competition, there were several medal winners. These medals awards were for high scores in testing and high scores in the role plays that they were in. Maggie Donahue, principals of marketing, top role play. Natalie Kreveling and Will DeZula, hospitality team decision making. They won top test and one of the top test scores and one of the top role play scores. Eli Tritt in apparel and accessories, a top role play for role play 1. Zoe Hockett, top role play for role play 1 and 2. Vivian Rinko, food marketing series, top role play 2. Kaylin Graves, hotel lodging management, top role play 2, and Ruth Louise Page, human resource management, top role play 2, and then quick serve restaurant management, Kathy Inthuragandi, top role play 1. I have struggled with her last name for as long as I've known her, and that's been almost her whole high school career. On Sunday morning, we had our grand award winners moving forward to ICDC, International Career Development Conference, in April, where we'll be heading to Atlanta. Hospitality Tourism Team Decision Making went to first place for Natalie Kreveling and Will DeZula. They had top scores in everything. I was very excited for that. Food Marketing Series, first place to Vivian Rinko. Mom is here. Selling, first place to Chloe Smolnick. Business Services Marketing, Zoe Hockett. Human Resource Management, Ruth Louise Page. Buying and Merchandising Team Decision Making, Virginia Yergi and Noah Miller. School-Based Enterprise Recertification of Fox Stocks, our school store, which is also our school-based enterprise, which is part of work-based learning. Chase Andreezy and Haley Harden move forward with that. King George won the Gold Chip Award, which is a top award for its annual report. Mr. and Mrs. Terry Rinko, or Mr. and Mrs. John Rinko, Terry and John, they were awarded Friends of DECA Award for their constant support of not only King George DECA chapter, but going to Virginia Beach and chaperoning and judging there for many years, and going to internationals and chaperoning that for twice. Yes. And, oh, there's one more thing down there. I don't need to read that. Okay, so thank you all very much.
Thank you, ladies.
Thanks, Dee. Yes, thank you.
All right, next up we have Mrs. Jarrell for FBLA.
So February was very exciting for us. We participated in a regional competition, which was held at Dominion Raceway. We had 42 students in 33 different categories compete. Over 75% of them had never competed before. We were the smallest school in the region, but we had the most members present. We had 29 members present, and the closest, they're going to tell me it's 27. I think it was 28, but we'll just go with that. We did come home with 18 medals, 10 first places, 3 seconds, and 5 third places. And all of which are going to be going to state competition in Reston, Virginia. They're going to state competition in Reston, Virginia, and then we're headed to nationals in San Antonio, Texas in late June. We get to travel once again on July 3rd, but it's okay. I have some of them here. Benjamin, he placed first place in network infrastructure. Lynn, she was in hospitality and event management. They placed third place. And Jaden, you had 1, securities and investments, first place. This is the second time he's competed and the second time he's placed in 2 years. This will be when we go to nationals in June. It will be only the second time, according to FBLA, National FBLA, that King George has participated. So it's pretty exciting. Last year we had 5 participate, 4 of which placed in the top 75 in the entire United States, and 1 placed in the top 15. And there was 14,500 students there competing. So it'll be again.
Thank you. All right, next I have Mr. Mitchell for FFA.
Good evening. How are y'all?
I'm good, thank you.
I have Seth and Ella with me. Ella is our FFA president. This year we went to the state fair and competed. We got first place in ag demonstration with Zoe Hockett. Horticulture demonstration, we had fourth place with Addison Rollins. Fourth place, forestry field day, log toss, which that's something, forestry field day is a little different. I mean, the kids do everything from two-man crosscut saw to water accuracy with the Indian can, log toss, log roll, things like that. Lawn tractor operators contest, 12th place out of 35 individuals was Gabe Davison. And our federation contest, first place in the tractor operators competition was Seth Parker. Second place for small engine was Tate Rollins. Second place for tractor troubleshooting was Seth and Tate again. Our area, Seth went on from his federation to go to first place in our area for tractor operators, and he will be going to Rockingham County Fairgrounds the 15th of April for state tractor operators.
Very cool.
And that, we're hoping that he's going to bring us home a state trophy with that as well.
Yeah.
So Seth also was sponsored by Northern Neck Electric Co-op this past weekend to go to Virginia, the Virginia Cooperative Council, Virginia Institute for Cooperative Education workshop. It's kind of a ag econ, who's minding the store scenario. He was part of the second place team and only missed it by less than 100 points being on the second place team for that as well. So Seth is headed to NC State for college next year. Ella is trying to decide between whether she's going to University of Maryland or Virginia Tech at this point. Ella is currently working at Ingleside Nursery, and she did an internship last summer at Stratford Hall. So
very cool.
That's what we have.
Thank
you.
All right, up next, I am going to go over the accomplishments of our NJROTC program. They have done really outstanding this year as well. Our rifle team, both the JV and varsity air rifle teams, won state championships this year.
Yeah.
Several other first place finishes throughout the competition season. The drill team came off a record-setting season last year, and then the team surpassed their own record this year, placing second overall in the state championship. They had the best finish in the program's 33 years of competing.
You hear that?
Truly an outstanding competition year for them. They received a plethora of other first place finishes throughout the season. And then there's some pictures up there. Did you want to say anything about it?
Sure. So our air rifle team is a small team with two. We have our junior varsity known as our novice, which is normally your freshman or your first year shooters, with your varsity being your AVET, who are your second, third, fourth year shooters. And they practice Monday through Thursday after school in the old VOTEC building. And then when they got moved from that, they went to the school board building. And our drill team, ever since end of August, beginning of September time, we practice Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. We had to be at school at 5:30 and we practiced till 7 a.m. in the gym. And that didn't end until just end of last month. So kudos to that team for putting on our second place in the state championship with taking first in almost all of our events. And that has 4 drill team routines, including a color guard to make it a 5th. On top of that, we have an academic team and a physical fitness team. So most of Fox Company was able to come out and participate that. And so I just want to congratulate all of our Fox Company for their accomplishments in both air rifle and drill team.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, then we have Skills USA, Mrs. Crop. I may need to help her. Her and I both are struggling a little bit with allergies, but if I need to do so, I will.
Yes, good evening. I would like to thank all of you for allowing us to come in this evening and recognize our awesome students. I have a few of them here with me.
Let's keep going. Keep
Yeah.
going over so they can come all over.
Alrighty. So March 9th through 11th, Skills USA had their state championships in Virginia Beach. And I have, let's see, I'm trying to. So we had 3 silver medalists. I'm sorry, I'm like, Molly Habgood. Molly, can you? Molly competed in additive manufacturing. Her partner, James Woodard, is not with us this evening. And then we have Wyatt Vogel. And Wyatt competed in a brand new competition this year, and it's career and technical educator. So that was a really interesting and I would say needed competition to get more people into becoming CTE educators. So our gold medalist, Jaden Burnett, prepared speech. Tyler Gresham, engineering, technology, design. Mariano Amisquita is not with us this evening, but engineering, technology, and design. And Irissa Brummett, also a member of the engineering, technology, and design team. All right, gold medalist in additive manufacturing, Ben Cogley. Ben's partner, Andrew Franzo, is not with us this evening. And last but not least, Anna Cox was our state champion in architectural drafting. Do you guys want to say anything? No, they're shy.
Don't go too far. We'll do it. Actually, if I can have all of the CTE students come up with the school board, I'm assuming Mrs. Higgins would like a picture. All of you can come up and line up over here with the school board and follow Mrs. Higgins' directions. That would be great. Good job, guys.
I didn't want to hit him.
Yes. You wanna? And I move to your smile. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, no, it's okay. Got it? Move me out of the way. Sorry, I didn't realize you were behind me. Is everybody good? All the parents, I'm out of your way. Okay. All right, good job, guys. As I started off this presentation saying, CTE is winning. Not only in the classroom, we are winning out there at regionals, we're winning at states, and we're winning at nationals. And these kids are certainly putting us on the map, which is just really amazing. I do have to share one quick story. Mrs. Kropp came down to my office holding all of those gold and silver medals on her arm. It looked like the Olympics. It was exciting. So I really quickly want to share some CTE highlights and accomplishments. Our CTE programs were promoted at the CGS STEAM Night along with our technology department. All of our English 10 classes right now are undergoing the CG Career Academy. We're still holding the monthly CTE Eats dinners to continue with our talks with the community Mrs. Rinko spearheads that, and we always have a table full of community members and stakeholders who want to have those conversations about how to help our students. The CTE has also been written up in a resource book for CTE educators, again, putting King George on the map. King George High School CTE is the subject of our new Career Accelerator program. It is a grant from Goodwill International to help seniors successfully enter the trades. Mr. Miller started and picked back up our Virginia Star program after school, which is a club that is working on damaged computers. They received a lot of computers from the North Carolina floods, and they're currently working on repairing them, and then they're going to donate them back out into the community. A new lifestyle fair was just held at King George Middle School on Friday, which was a huge success, where students were matched with their assessments results with a career that aligned to their strengths, and then that will continue once they move up into the high school. And then King George High School will also be the site of the Health Careers Immersion Day Camp. That's a collaboration through RCC, the Bay Consortium, Workforce Development Board, and Mary Washington Hospital, which that's really exciting and will be coming this summer. Next, I'm going to ask Mrs. Rinko to come up and speak to you about our work-based learning highlights.
Good evening, everyone. We're excited to share with you that 400 juniors and some seniors demonstrated their workplace readiness at this year's 2 reverse career fairs. King George High School students attended the Fredericksburg Chamber's Mock Interview Day and Intern Expo this year. As far as our students, 7 students participated in externships in 6 different departments in the school board office. 1 student participated in a paid internship in nutrition services that led to additional work with the department and culminated in her Serve Safe certification. And we do not have a formal culinary program. Very exciting. 8 students participated in paid internships in 4 different departments in King George Parks and Recreation. 8 different teachers participated in a grant-funded day-in-the-life summer experience exploring CTE industries such as aquaculture, medical imaging, cybersecurity to foster a careers culture throughout King George High School. And currently, 12 students are in the home stretch completing IECC's pre-apprenticeship electrical program during the school day, funded completely by industry partners and our Economic Development Authority, a first of its kind in the state of Virginia.
As you can see, we have a lot of great things going on, but Mrs. Capel is now going to come up and speak to you about the growth that we hope to see with our CTE program.
So good evening, everyone. As Dr. Truslow shared, we are doing so many awesome things. Students, instructors, thank you so much for all of your hard work. And we're hoping to take your hard work and expand even further. So our hopes are, we've been working as a committee. Various members of our committee have gotten together and we have visited 4 regional centers. We've done the research with the data coming in from our community partners and our industry partners. And through our committee work, we are presenting our ideas moving forward. So we're hoping to expand and introduce an electricity program, an HVAC program, and a culinary program in a new space. And then we know we're doing wonderful things and we want to give them an opportunity, some new space, expand what we have in the high school and in our new building. So we would move the nurse aide, the medical assisting, welding and building trades program to the new location. And where we are with that, and I'll let Dr. Boyd speak more to that if he needs to, but we're working with our board of supervisors to take the next steps towards that, securing an architect, allowing their input and giving us what the space could look like along with all the research we've done and just moving forward with our project. So if you will. just so you know, we have why we're doing all this. We have our CTE advisory committee monthly, as we said, with Ms. Rinko and CTE Eats. We meet with industry partners, educators, community leaders. We've had that opportunity. We have heard from our community and industry leaders the needs. We've looked at the data, the research to show us and guide us so that we can continue to grow as a county and support our students down the road. A workforce data analysis, as I said, so just what's going on around us, how do we continue to grow, support our students. We know we want to see them walk in with open minds and walk out with those certifications that will make them employable and marketable, and also give them a platform to grow as young people into the workforce in our community. And then, like we said, we had the opportunity to go to 4 regional visits. We saw the great things our communities, our regional partners are doing, and took their feedback. We're going to apply it, the things that they like, the things that they would change if they had the opportunity. So we've heard them, we've had that opportunity, and now it's just putting it on paper and in existence. So are there any questions this evening about our awesome CTE programs, where we look to go and in our future?
Just a big thank you to everybody who's made all those trips and done all the research. I know it's been a lot. And thank you for allowing us to be a part of it, because it also helps. Mr. Frank and I have been, I think Mrs. Scott went on one of the trips, but it helps with us with a vision. And, and also I'm excited for the students and Ms. Ranko with the idea of asking the middle school students. That's a fabulous idea. So thank you all. It's been a lot of work, and I know we're not done.
Yes, and as we keep saying, and I appreciate your thoughts on it too, we're not just building for now, we're building for our future. So as we make these decisions and have these discussions, I know everyone's aware, but that's also our end goal too, that we grow with the future in mind. So our middle schoolers, our elementaries, students in our community, as we continue to move forward, we're not just growing for the next 5 years, we're looking to make sure that we're still on the map and doing great things in 20, 30, 40 years.
Thank you.
Madam Chair, I just want to take a moment to say thank you to our all-star team in the audience here. What did you call yourself? The three-legged stool.
All 3 of us together, we get it done. Sometimes we lean a little heavy on one or the other. So I'm thankful for this team and the CTE teachers and the students that put in the work on a daily basis. And I know the educators in this room, these kids come to them with ideas, and Ms. Rinko and Dr. Truslow say, let's make it work. Yeah. And they come to me and we say, all right, we'll figure it out, but we're going to make it work. So our students are at the heart of what we do. And I commend you guys, and I thank you guys for doing great things.
Yes, thank you.
So this all-star team, the effort, the knowledge that they have, we're in a very good place right now with the momentum we have moving forward. The effort of the school board, the board of supervisors, the partnership right now that we have with many folks in our community to include our local government. I think we're making great strides in moving forward with this vocational center. And specifically speaking, we are on schedule to demo the existing vocational building this summer. That RFP has hit the streets. I've been notified today that very soon, this week very soon, the RFP for architecture and engineering will be pushed out. That's pushed out this week. It will be on the open market for 45 days. After 45 days, we will decide who we want to review in terms of the architects selected. We'll interview those architects. And really from there, we turn it over to them with the concept we have in terms of programming. And they mock up a design for us for school board review and for community input. And I think the process is moving forward wonderfully. So I know Mr. Smolnick on his end has been a great asset, and he's working with our county financial firms to figure out how to fund the project. And I couldn't be more proud of everybody's effort in this. And I think it's going in a very optimistic direction. So thank you all. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Ward, do we have any timeline on when we'll get that first mock-up design?
So we will have proposals by mid-May. And those will be proposals from all architectural firms. So from there, we'll make a decision on which architect to choose from. But really, that's just the beginning of the process. Those are beginning mock-ups. They'll do things like community interest sessions. They'll speak with our current instructors. They'll speak with school board and try to get some feedback on what we think we need in that building specifically, where the final design will be massaged to a point that we all appreciate. Yeah.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Show my hand.
Thank you, guys.
All right, moving on to our student representatives. Remind me of your name.
Logan Samuel.
Logan, yes, Logan. You want to go first? Okay.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Logan Samuel. I am a student representative from KGMS, and I have a few announcements for the middle school. So since the last meeting, there were math and reading growth assessments on February 24th and 26th. On March 5th, after school was a staff versus student basketball game, which I think the staff won. That's sad.
Barely though, because my daughter went against MJ on that, and she lost to MJ, but MJ gave her the basket. Go ahead, sorry.
You're fine. On March 12th was the 7th grade dance, and on the 20th was the career and lifestyle fair for all grades. Throughout this week and last week, the 5th grade students have been visiting the middle school. And later this week, on the 25th, will be the reading and writing SOL for 8th grade. And also on the 25th, 26th, and the 27th will be the KGMS spring play called The Day the Internet Died at 6 p.m. in the auditorium. Then on Friday, the quarter 3 award ceremony will take place. At the end of every month, students who are recognized for their attendance are put into a raffle for the chance to win a prize. But because it's March Madness, students have the chance to win a prize by the end of each week in March. The prizes are a free donut for 3rd place, a $5 Sheets card for 2nd, and a free pizza for 1st place. And other than that, spring sports are off to a good start, and go Foxes.
Thank you.
Good evening, members of the board, administrators, and community members. My name is Jake Lauber, and I'm a student at King George High School. Recently, your school board representative sent out a survey to better understand the concerns and priorities of our student body. From that feedback, several key issues stood out, issues I'm here to share on behalf of the students. One of the most consistent concerns was the condition of our school bathrooms. Students reported broken sinks, toilets, and stall doors. These are basic necessities, and maintaining them is important to ensure a functional and respectful learning environment. Students are requesting that these issues be addressed. Including with this, there is a concern about the bathrooms in the old Votech building. Students have reported that they have not been upkept in quite some time, with statements today, students saying that the toilets do not work in the female bathrooms, along with no toiletries are provided. Even though the old Votech building is said to have been cleared out, it's still being utilized when sports teams are going through there. So this is a concern as students utilize these while participating in these sports. Additionally, students expressed a need for menstrual products to be stocked in women's restrooms. This was brought up as a concern related to the accessibility and supporting students during the school day. I would like to bring awareness to a situation involving a website that was recently posted containing vulgar and inappropriate comments about students. This issue has been brought to the attention of administration, and as shared by Dr. Burns, the student's family have been contacted and efforts are underway to have the site taken down. This situation highlights the importance of maintaining a respectful and safe environment for all of our students. I want to briefly mention a recent safety-related event. Last Friday, we entered a partial lockdown near the beginning of 1st block, which lasted till the start of 2nd block. This was due to an anonymous call concerning a student's safety. Administration handled the situation effectively, and thankfully, there was no injuries to any students, staff, or teachers. We appreciate the quick response and focus to keeping everyone safe. Additionally, on March 20th, the middle school hosted several career-oriented representatives for the 7th and 8th grade students. A big thank you to our incredible business partners for spending the day with our students and helping inspire the next generation. On a more positive note, I'd like to recognize some of the great things happening at King George High School. The KGHS Fox team, step team, recently competed in their first competition hosted at the high school and earned 2nd place. Congratulations to them, and we wish them best of luck on their next competition on May 2nd. In athletics, King George tennis team has a home match today against James Monroe. This week, our track and baseball teams have meets on Wednesday, with baseball, soccer, and softball also competing on Thursday. We wish best of luck to them. This past week, we had 2 Foxes competing at NCSAs in Florida. I want to congratulate junior Ava Eddy for taking 6th in the nation for 50 backstroke and 8th in the 100 backstroke, along with our senior Sid Johnson for taking 9th in the 200 free and going the best time at 1:50. One last thing before I end my speech today. A famous quote that I refer back to quite often, said by Winston Churchill, is, quote, "Success is not final. Failure is not fatal. It is the courage to continue that counts." So as we finish out this strong, thriving school year with 57 days till the class of 2026 graduates and underclassmen move into summertime, we still have many events and opportunities to keep looking forward to. As we head into spring break next week, I encourage everyone to take some time to rest, stay safe, and return ready to finish out this school year strong. Thank you for this time and considering our feedback from our students.
Thank you. Jake? He scared me. I thought we were back in public comment at first, but then he turned it for positive. What, you got something? No? You're done? Okay. All right, moving on to meeting minutes for February 23rd, and then the disciplinary hearing. So I will be exempt from this. So if Carrie, you want to take it, you can.
Can I get a motion?
I would like a motion to approve the meeting minutes from February 23rd, disciplinary hearing at 3, the February 23rd disciplinary hearing at 4, and then the regular meeting on February 23rd, unless.
We have a motion and seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
And Colleen's abstaining, and Vice Chair votes aye. Motion carries.
Thank you, Carrie. All right, now we're moving on to policies reviewed but not revised.
Yes, Madam Chair. So we have policies in 3 areas this week. We had a large download from VSBA, and I think with the help of Ms. Scalf, we've been able to organize these quite successfully. The first area is policies reviewed but not revised. So all of our policies through VSBA are on usually like a 5-year renewal schedule. So they review them every 5 years. The first group of policies are ones that were reviewed, but no changes were made. The second group of policies there in the consent agenda, policy manual updates, those are the ones that we often see that might have just a grammatical mistake, a comma, changing a word or whatever it means. Really no substantive change at all in those policy updates. Hopefully you've had a chance to take a look at them. And then the final, I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but the final section of policies we have this evening are policy manual updates in discussion that do have substantive change that I can go through individually if need be. So I can stop there for any questions, Madam Chair, for the consent agenda.
Madam Chair, since there were no changes to the first set, I would like to make a motion to approve policy DIA, policy GCBPA, policy GCQAB, policy JFCL, and policy KBC.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Motion carries. And then the second set was just.
These are just policies that really have no substantive change, just grammatical updates to them. Anybody want to do that big motion?
I will make a motion to approve policies. All
Yeah, as presented.
As presented.
All policy
Okay.
updates as presented.
All policy updates as presented.
Second.
Any discussion?
Dr. Ward, I was looking at this and, corporal punishment. And I was thinking back to our years in high school when Mr. Roller had the Board of Education. It was, as a matter of fact, you met him. He came to visit you, the first superintendent, the youngest superintendent, remember?
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he came to visit you.
Oh.
He was our principal when we were there, and he had a Board of Education, and you got a choice. Taking the Board of Education or going home.
Yeah, we can't do that anymore, Mr. Frank.
Hey, Dr. Boyd, was there any revisions that you had in mind that we might?
There's nothing in this group here. These are relatively mild. There's nothing that's of major mention. I've gone through every single one of them, reviewed them. They're the same policies that we have on the books now in terms of substance. The only changes are grammatical changes that they just need to be updated in terms of grammar so that Aaron can update them in our policy manual, but not any substantive change.
That GCPD thing, that makes me miss David Bush. Remember those days? All right.
You still got that vote.
Do what?
You still have.
Oh, yeah, we are. Okay. All right. Any discussion? No. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Of the revised policy. Approval. All right.
And then finally, Madam Chair, in the consent agenda, we have one donation this evening that we need board approval on, donated by Trevor Fay to King George High School Theater Department. And it was many of the items that they use for their production: heavy-duty special effects tripod, Froggy's high output fog snow machine, and Soquin AQ log line fog machine. I couldn't tell you what that is. Sparkler fountains and a road case, donated by Trevor Fay. I would ask for acceptance of that donation this evening, Madam Chair.
So even when there's not a dollar amount?
No.
No, it's not always a dollar amount. It could be items.
Is this from an organization or just?
No, from an individual.
Individual? Okay. All right.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we accept the donations as presented.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries to approve the donated items for theater. All right, action items, 2026-27 special education plan. Mrs. Kate or Dr. Kate Howard. Wendy, I'll get used to that.
I was just sitting back there, just thinking about all the amazing things the kids are doing, right? So just filled up, and what amazing work everyone is doing. And along those lines, tonight I want to present our annual plan, which is required every year to continue all the amazing things that are required for our special education students here in King George. Pretty simple and straightforward. This annual plan, Part B flow-through application, is required to be presented to the school board tonight so that we may present this grant to the state and provide the allowability of funds so that we can continue to provide high-quality instruction and staff and professional development, as well as supplies for our kiddos with special needs. If we look back to the implementation from the prior year, which we're always a year behind, so that's why it says 24-25. There are two pots of money in this grant, the 611 and the 619. The 611, that pot of money, that grant money, covers students in K-12. The 619 is for our ECSE students. So for the prior year, we used the majority of the funds for staffing, professional development, instructional and assessment materials, and purchase services. That 619 grant funds pot of money was used for professional development, instructional and assessment materials, and purchase services. These are also what we will continue to propose using the money for, as it continues to be the need. Thank you, Ms. Higgins. So part of the requirements for this grant funds are what's called the maintenance of effort, or MOE. That is an application formula that's built into the grant, which is a checks and balances. There's a 4-part checks and balance within the program that ensures we are using our money wisely, that we are spending these grant funds wisely. And as it says, you have to spend the same amount of money each year on or more on students with disabilities based on our number of students. So we passed it in all 4 categories, really proud of that. And so we passed that. The next part of it is if we have what's called a coordinated early intervention services, which again, we are not identified. You don't want to be CEIS. That's a bad thing. So we are not identified. Again, something really to be proud of, because what it says is we are providing that high quality for our early childhood intervention services. So we're doing everything we need to do within our parameters of what we have. So we are not required to consider that source, which is a good thing. The last part of the requirement is what's called a proportionate set aside, or PSA. So when we have students that are homeschooled, and should they need a service plan, if they have an IEP, and they may need occupational therapy, physical therapy, or speech and language therapy, we offer that service plan to them. Some take it, some don't. But based on the numbers that we have to do what it's called proportionate set aside, and set aside funds to be able to pay for those services for the students. So this year, we'll be setting aside $7,389 to cover those costs. So that is a requirement of our obligation under IDEA. This year, our proposal, based on our numbers, for the 611 fund, remember that is for our K-12 students, is $1,128,594. That will be used to staff about 11 staff members. It's for supplies, contracted services, professional development, and travel. The travel has to be in the state of Virginia. We cannot go out of the state of Virginia for that. The 619 projection is for the preschool, remember? So just a side note, doesn't matter where that preschool is. So it'll still apply to all the preschools. And also side note, kudos to Lori Wages, who came up here and did an amazing job, as well as Angie and everybody that's been a part of what looked like a small presentation, but an enormous undertaking with a lot of heart and soul. So I'm sorry I digressed there for a minute. I just wanted to say that. But the 619 projection of that $22,780 is again for supplies, contracted services, professional development, and travel. So all of that goes into an application that I present to the state. So all I need you guys to do tonight is say, yes, let's do it. And then I send it to them. What typically happens is they take it, and then it's all kind of a formula, right? So the state will look at our numbers based on our December 1 count. I talk about that a lot. Our December 1 count is a snapshot of what our special education numbers are for the whole year. And that number determines a lot of these calculations. So the state, once the budget and everything is finalized, which is completely out of my control and our control, will come back and say, yep, we're going to give you this much, or we're going to give you more. So it's an opportunity for us to continue, like I said, our great services for our students with disabilities. Anybody have any questions?
I have a quick question about the homeschoolers.
Yes, ma'am.
So we have some homeschoolers that submit the waiver or whatever, but I understand that some of them don't have to for whatever reason.
Right.
So how are they made aware of the availability for those kinds of services?
Sure. And that is something that, in our communication to the public, as far as like tonight goes, we're hoping they're checking in and listening, as well as the schools. Anytime someone calls and talks about, we do have that often where a homeschool family may call and say, hey, my student might need speech, or they may get a doctor's note, right, that says, hey, they need some services. And then we will have that meeting and we will discuss. Oftentimes the parents take us up on it. and they would like to have the services. So at that point, the IEP team decides that we're going to provide that service plan for them, and we will meet and provide those services that are agreed upon in that IEP meeting.
Okay, thanks.
You're so welcome. Any other questions?
Dr. Howard, you do a lot of great things as well.
Oh, thank you.
I always have.
Everybody here.
Y'all are great. You can
Yeah,
you like
I know.
encourage
It's
us,
a
your
good-
love of each other and teamwork
Well,
and
that's how it
everything.
works. It's relationships.
It
Ms.
is,
Davis.
yes.
Yeah, for sure.
That's smile.
That's right. When we're given a charge, it happens, right? Because look at these amazing kids here tonight. Like I was telling Ms. Strauss, like I've known some of them since they were like 5, and it's incredible to see the things they're doing now, you know?
Yes.
It's a testament to all the hard work for everybody in the schools, for sure.
Yeah, thank you.
Thanks for letting me just go off script for a minute.
Okay, Madam Chair, I would like to make a motion that we approve the grant proposal in the amount of the proposed grant of $1,394.80. I'm sorry,
Yeah, I was going to say a couple more zeros.
$1,394,889 for the 611 grant and $22,116 for the 619 from the Virginia Department of Education.
Second.
It's okay, though. It's
Well,
okay.
it says it on this, but it's actually that number right there.
Oh,
Well, they're
It-
both estimates, right? So
Yes, they're both estimates, so
Okay.
it's okay. We're in the ballpark.
Yeah,
We're
it's on
good.
her paper. So
Yeah.
Okay,
All right.
second.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries, grant is approved.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. All right, moving on to, oh my goodness. It's been a long day. Atlantic Union, is that where we are?
Yes, ma'am. I can do this one quickly, Madam Chair. So again, Jen, our new finance director, Jen Brody, has dug into our credit accounts, and we are in need of a board motion to make Jen Brody and myself the administrators of the Visa credit cards for Atlantic Union Bank Visa. They currently is Dr. Benson
I remember that.
and Cheryl, or Sherry. So if we could, if I could have a motion this evening to approve myself and Jen Brody to be designated as the new program administrators, Madam Chair.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve Dr. Jesse Ward, Superintendent, and Jennifer Brody, Supervisor of Finance, is designated as the new program administrators.
A second.
Any discussion?
You say administrators of the,
Turn your thing on.
Credit card account.
Credit card, yeah.
Did your thing on?
you just said administrators.
That's-
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Wait, we have a question.
This is just to change your names, right?
This is right now is just to change names, so that we have access to the account.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
And the name change is approved. And then the month, oh, by the way, I just want to say something about Jen Brody and her, what a great job she did her first, in the middle of budget season, coming in and doing that, because I cannot stop hearing enough from the Board of Supervisors how well our budget has been presented, and how clean. So good job to you, your team and Mrs. Brody.
Yeah, it's been a very good budget season, and she's been a blessing thus far. So certainly
Good job.
helpful.
All right, month of the Military Child Proclamation.
Yes, Madam Chair. So King George County Schools is home to nearly 400 children whose parents currently serve in the military, and hundreds more who support our military through work at NSWS, Dahlgren. King George County Schools is recognized by the Virginia Department of Education as a Purple Star school. The Virginia The Virginia Purple Star designation is awarded to military-friendly schools that have demonstrated a major commitment to students and families connected to our nation's military. Schools that earn the award receive a special Purple Heart recognition to display on site. One component of the Purple Heart designation is the school board annually passes a resolution publicly that the school division supports the military students and families within King George County. My recommendation this evening, Madam Chair, is a motion to approve the proclamation designating April 2026 as the month of the military child.
Madam Chair, I make a motion to approve the proclamation designating April 2026 as the month of the military child.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion approved. And that's all I gotta say. What'd you say? Approved healthcare rates.
Yes, Madam Chair. So this is just our formal recognition. We have had discussions about this. We've made decisions about how we want to accept the rate increase and to share those costs between employer and employee. So this evening, we need a formal motion, approved motion from the school board to accept those healthcare rates so that we can turn back over to Anthem and let them know that we're ready to move forward with renewal this year. So a motion to authorize the superintendent to pursue and execute a renewal agreement that will provide employees health insurance coverage through the local choice health benefits plan beginning July 1, 2026, Madam Chair.
Only because we have to. That rate is excruciating.
It's a high amount this year.
Somebody make a motion.
Nobody wants to make the motion.
Yeah, nobody wants to.
I make a motion to authorize this.
We need healthcare, guys.
We need help? Yeah, I need
So
help.
what if we don't? I don't want to, trust me.
What if we don't?
I have a question with it.
Go ahead.
Actually, but I was going to wait till you
Till
made
the motion is made.
I make a motion to
If they don't, we don't have health insurance. We're just
pursue and execute a renewal agreement that will provide employees health insurance coverage through the local choice health benefits plan beginning July 1, 2026.
I need a second.
Second.
Any discussion? Mrs. Cleveland?
So I would like to ask the board to consider going to market with this in the future. We talked about this last year when the rates were going to go up to, 20+%, and they actually did this year. So I think that we need to do our due diligence on the next cycle and have it bid out. I did get a card from a insurance carrier when we were at the VSBA conference. So I have that one. I mean, I think we should bid it out to at least two different
We can do that.
ones so we can at least see it.
Who's our guy now, Keith?
Well, that's not our healthcare. He's our broker. He works on, but
broker.
we could direct him to bid it out. And two, I think you probably got one from Jefferson program, Jefferson something or other. And there's other ones. Local choice. Going through the exercise will not hurt.
I think she just means with outside of just him, because he's going to give us the same ones.
Well, he's our health care expert. I mean, if we want to go with a different broker, we can do that. But
I'd like to see what they can offer.
Okay.
I think that it would be good for us to do the due diligence so we can see it.
I agree with that.
Because he is a broker, but he's only offering, what he can offer. So there's another company that I know of talking to them at the conference. And I don't know if they would be better, but it's worth it to try.
I agree.
So.
Yeah, Jesse, they did, he said, like kind of shop around a little bit, and these were the best rates offered this year at least.
Yes.
Well, as our rate increase kind of implies, we weren't a very marketable pool this year. So, hopefully that gets better, but you never know. I mean, it's all based on.
Stop being healthy out there.
No, it's not. Yeah.
It was a very small, that's what I mean. It was a very small, start being very small percentage that had the bill so high.
Yeah. Now, I do believe that the compensation increase, if we were to get this budget brought home entirely, the compensation increase this year is one that's going to swallow that health insurance increase very well, based on the numbers we've crunched. However, it's still a very large increase. So taking it and looking at other options next year is certainly not a bad idea. I agree with Ms. Cleveland.
Okay.
Dr. Board, we talked about a flat rate of 88 and 12. Is that what we're going with?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
For the single plan.
Right.
For the single plan. Mm-hmm.
What's for the family plan?
I don't have all the percentages. Well, actually, maybe I do.
Is it going to stay the same or does that change?
No, those percentages stay the same, correct? Yeah, the percentages are the same as last year, but they're different depending on single, dual, or family.
Okay. All right.
And then what plan you have.
Thank you. Any more discussion? All right. Where are we at? We had a motion.
All in favor?
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. All right. Only because it has to. We are moving on to policy manual updates, like we did this.
Yes, Madam Chair, how would you prefer I proceed through these? Would you guys like to go through them?
Non-changes first, like where there's limited changes.
Well, these all have substantive changes, but not huge. They're not moving mountain changes, but there are changes. So I can go through them individually. I can go through them together. It's up to you, Madam Chair.
One by one is fine.
One by one. Okay. First policy is BBBC. This is the board member oath of office. We have this policy currently, but the VSBA has added the red section there at the bottom, which basically talks about how the position will become vacant if the school board member doesn't take the oath in the required amount of time, which is 30 days from appointment. So we're currently doing that, but as you can see, VSBA's put some stronger language in there for taking the oath of office.
Madam Chair,
Go ahead.
I move that we approve BBBC as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
It is approved. The policy is approved.
So, Madam Chair, the next two, BDD, and I think I don't have it in front of me, but I think it's BDDL, talks about electronic participation in school board meetings. That's for school board meetings. And then the next policy, BDDL, is for committee meetings. It's the same substance in both of those policies. You can see they've changed some verbiage in terms of a desire to have the meetings in a physical location. If you can have them in a physical location, you're not supposed to opt for a virtual offering. You're supposed to have them in a physical location if you can. But both of these are required to be updated annually. And again, the only difference between this one and the next one, BDDL, is the first one is for school board members. The second one is for school board committees.
Madam Chair, I make a motion that we approve BDD, policy BDD and BDDL as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Policy provision has been approved.
Next one, Madam Chair, is GBEB. This is staff weapons in school. And this policy speaks to who is able to carry weapons in school. And it specifically has a legal reference, 18.2-308, which if you check that legal reference, it gives you a list of people who are eligible to carry firearms in school, which are law enforcement officers, retired law enforcement officers, and there's a few other subcategories. Currently, we are in compliance with this policy.
Okay.
I move that we approve GBEB as presented.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Next policy, Madam Chair, is GBG. This policy is titled Staff Participation in Public Activities. Again, a policy that we already have. It talks about how staff members cannot use their position or the school division to promote a political activity. The added verbiage this time is to include school email, division resources, and communication systems. Also, you may not use those items to support your particular political beliefs.
Madam Chair, I move that we accept policy GBG as submitted.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Policy revision approved.
Okay, Madam Chair, the next is policy GCG. This is the professional staff probationary term and continuing annual contract. And again, a lot of this talks about what a probationary period is, and then how teachers have to satisfy, or really staff members as part of this as well. Probationary requirements in order to be relieved from that probationary requirements after they earn continuing status. So not a whole lot of substantive change here.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve GCG as written.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Policy approved. Revision approved.
Okay, the next one, Madam Chair, is actually 3 policies, but what VSBA has done is remove 2 of those policies to include that information in one single policy. So the revised policy is GD, and now GD includes the verbiage that was formerly seen in GDG and GDN. So now instead of having 3 policies, one for support staff, one for support staff probationary period, and one for evaluation of support staff, all of that information will be found in GD, which is just under support staff. So probationary period for support staff and evaluation of support staff is now found in policy GD.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve policy GD as written.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Policy provision approved.
And also a motion to strike the other 2
Revision.
policies.
I move that we strike policies GDG and GDN.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
Thank you, Madam Chair. The next policy is IGBH, which is alternative school programs. And it basically says that in a school division, school divisions are responsible for providing alternative programs, but you cannot charge tuition for those alternative programs to include, and it sounds like they're dealing with a specific situation across the state, a program preparing students to pass a high school equivalency examination approved by the Board of Education. So in other words, the school division cannot charge a tuition for a GD program, and we are in support of that.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve policy IGBH as presented.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Policy update approved.
So the last policy, Madam Chair, is IICC, Community Resource Persons and School Volunteers, and it adds specific language about registered sex offenders. I'll read that specifically. It adds the section, access to school property by certain registered sex offenders is prohibited by the Virginia law except as permitted by court order or statute. Potential visitors, including parents who are registered sex offenders, should consult policy KN before arriving on school policy or at school-sponsored events. So typically, in my experience as high school principal, this may be somebody attempting to attend graduation or something like that, and they have to make sure they make the school division aware and request for approval from us, depending on the certain circumstances, as to whether or not they can attend those events. This is just an update to that policy, which we are in favor of.
Madam Chair, I move that we approve policy IICC as submitted.
Need a second?
Second.
Any discussion?
Can we see policy KN? I did not review that.
Yeah, we can pull it up.
It also talks about like workers coming onto the school.
Yeah, so if we're contracting third-party businesses, like the company that just did our turf field, which I just saw a walkthrough of today. That's why it's on my mind, not because of any other reason. But we vet those individuals that are coming on school property, make sure that they're not registered sex offenders or anything of that nature. So policy KN, you'd like me to go over quickly?
Yes, could you please?
It's reference KN, sex offenders, yeah. So policy KN is titled Sex Offenders and Crimes Against Minors. Registry information, the requirement to register, and then how it is that and this is what I was speaking to, how they have to, what steps they have to take if they intend to visit a school.
There's some reasons why. I mess you up.
No, you're good.
Okay, so I'm just understanding that if they are a registered sex offender, they would have to show that they received a court order saying that it's okay for them to come on the property. Is that what I'm understanding?
And then they go to the school principal. The school principal, it depends on what they're asking for, and it depends on the circumstances of their status. The school principal, like I said, makes sure that they consider other children, making sure that that individual is not alone with any other children. I'll be honest with you, at the high school level, it was always just graduation. It was, we're having graduation at Fred Nat's, and now the 10 tickets that the kid's giving out, somebody's needs to come to the school principal and say, I'm on a list and I need you to know these are the circumstances. And then we talk through with them what the graduation looks like, the situation that predicated the need for this, and whether or not we would approve in written consent. They have to write a request, and then we have to give them in written consent a response as to whether or not we would approve their presence at a school-sponsored event.
How come, real quick, why is that only for tier 3? And what is tier 2? I'm looking.
I think those are the most serious in
The
nature.
most serious.
That's why that one requires extra.
So it just means they've been caught more than the tier 2.
Yeah, I think those are the most, well, and honestly, and again, I can't confirm anyone that has never come that, we don't have any.
Tier 2 is requiring 25-year registration, sexual offense of the Adam Walsh Act. So it just means we should look at that maybe. That law?
That's law. Yeah. That they require the 25-year part. That's not our.
I'm just saying, the only thing I see in the policy is tier 3, that this applies to tier 3 only. No?
Says that when the school division learns that a parent, other than a parent who has been convicted of a tier 3 offense, the student is required to register with the registrar, saying basically tier 1 and tier 2
Falls under it?
And then if it's tier 3, that's the last paragraph under these.
Yeah, so tier 3 is you're not coming at all.
Oh, that would be the first sentence is when the school division learns that a parent, which is tier 1 or tier 2.
Yes.
The way that this policy is written, let's just talk through this board real quick. So it says access to school property by certain registered sex offenders. I'm just wondering why they're saying certain. So explain to me that again.
So I think what it's saying is tier 1 and tier 2 follow a certain.
So the certain is the tier 1 and tier 2.
I believe so. Is the way I read it. And tier 3 is you're not coming.
Okay. I think I understand it like that too, but I want to make sure that you guys do too.
Just the way it's written is confusing. When a school division learns that a parent other than a parent who has been convicted of a tier 3 offense. I guess what we're just making sure, yeah, okay.
What does that say?
Yeah.
You're good?
Yeah.
Okay. Did we?
I think we
need a motion for that final policy. Oh, we've made the motion. We're in discussion. So.
All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion carries.
And that's the final policy, Madam Chair.
All right. Let me get out of this. Sorry, I moved over to the policies. And we are committee reports. Mr. Frank.
Yes, I do have one. I have the pleasure of being on the Title I Advisory Committee, and I say pleasure because of the people that are there and the people that are running it. Always professional. Angie in the back there. At the last meeting, the theme, or you can say theme, was family engagement and trying to get ways to get families involved. And we've been talking about that for, the 30 years that I've been associated with the school here. So, but they've got some good ideas and it's working hard towards that. But all in all, a very, very good meeting, very, very professional. And I go to some of these other meetings as there's only 1 or 2 people there. This one must have been 12 or 15 people with a parent there. So that was all good. Thank you.
Yes, last week I went to my first special education advisory committee meeting. And I just want to say that every committee that I've been on, and I've rotated a lot, I've thoroughly enjoyed, learned a lot. And that was the same at this meeting with Dr. Howard and her team there that she showed you a lot of the things. We talked about the budget that we just approved tonight, and I learned a lot about how that process takes place. And we also talked about the Disability Center, the Brenda Boggs Disability Center, and I have a flyer here for, I guess I can give it to somebody to post somewhere. Maybe we can put it online because we need to make that information is it already online, Dr. Howard? It was shared. Okay, so great resources available for, yes. So anyway, great meeting, great information, and obviously a lot of efforts put into, just from what we saw tonight, into all that. So thank you, everyone involved.
Mrs. Scott.
Yes, this past week we had the Gifted Advisory Committee and status update. The second graders were screened for gifted programs, and several students at all of the elementary schools were identified. So they have a goal of getting those letters out to families by the end of April. And registration for Gifted Summer Camp has gone out. And so if you've gotten that email, register your kids. That is due April 10th, so that the summer camp, so that we'll know who's attending. They had a lot of cool ideas about what they're going to have at the summer camp. They talked about doing a newspaper, yarn crafts, a Lego challenge, science experiments, and drama and game making. So not just nerdy stuff, but lots of different things that the kids will really enjoy and learn a lot from. And for the governor's school, the Commonwealth Governor's School, we had 24 applicants, and they also took those students and they had them teach the kindergartners the life cycle of a plant. I thought that was really cool. And for CBGS, the rising 10th graders, there were 18 applications, and so that's pretty good. And ATI, all 7 spots have been accepted, and they also added a junior from the wait list to the ATI school as well. They were well represented at the STEAM night, and that was very successful. I am sorry I was not able to make it because I really want to go next year from what I heard. So they did an excellent job, and I'm looking forward to seeing how that program goes in the future, and definitely looking forward to the summer camp.
don't have anything.
You need to know. Go ahead.
I need my nickel back because I actually attended CT Eats for Mr. Frank, and it was when, gosh, the room was full. It was a great event. It was when Mr. Miller's students did a presentation on what they're doing with the repairing their computers and stuff. And every single community member there reached out and wanted to know how they could help the students. And I don't know how much you've heard back. That was only last week or week before, but it just seems like all the community members are really, really wanting to help with all the programs that we're offering. So I've been to several of the events, and it seems like there's more people every time. So good job.
Did he have something?
Nope.
Okay. So my committee report is for the Chesapeake Bay Governor School. They had a science symposium on March 7th in Richmond, which I didn't make it to, but every year they say it's an amazing event and it's worth going. It's where the students set up their science projects and celebrate their research. And on March 19th, we had a combined meeting with the CBGS school board and superintendents. And what I found out is that there is the bonus grant that's coming out, being funded by the state, which almost all divisions have to participate in the financial match. But for the governor schools, they will be funded directly from the state, correct? So they don't have to worry about that financial match, which is awesome because we think our budget's little as far as money. Where was I at? A lot of these teachers and professors at these Chesapeake Bay governor schools and all the governor schools that we have here, they could be working at universities and different colleges, but they're really dedicated to those students, and that they dedicate their time and their pay to these students because they love being a part of the program. Thank you to Mr. Wallace from Westmoreland School Board for being a part of our STEAM night at the high school. I just want to give him a quick shout out. And that's it. Now we are moving on. Superintendent report.
Yes, Madam Chair. So last week with Ms. Scalf and Ms. Higgins, we did our staff and student advisory meetings. Those went very well, very well. It's always a pleasure to have a group of middle school students and a group of high school students just sit around a round table and talk about school and talk about the things that are going well, the things that aren't going well, and just having real candid conversations with them. We did the same thing with our staff. I think a week later, we have a group of representative teachers from every single one of our schools, and they come over and they talk to us. And I'll tell you, and I think this is commendable. Usually this time of year, 2-3 weeks before spring break, and we're grinding and we're crunching and we're getting down to the testing window and things get tight. And usually this is when the climate gets sticky, and talking to the students and talking to the staff, I couldn't believe how positive they spoke of the school division and of the morale and of the culture in the buildings right now, coming from the student lens and the staff lens. Even with the staff, I was planting seeds and trying to say, hey, you want to talk about snow days or anything like that? And they're like, no, we're good. And so it was just a pleasure to have those conversations and to be at this point in the year to get that positive feedback by our school division is great to hear. And it's a tribute to all the hard work that I think we're all doing to get our school division in the right place. So I just wanted to mention that. As far as the budget, we've heard a few things tonight, but just to give you kind of an overview, the state did not come out of the session with a complete budget. So they will reconvene, I believe, on the day after the special election, August 22nd, and then August 23rd, they're supposed to work specifically on the budget. We're starting to hear some information, and there's some, different theories out there. From the House and Senate, one is proposing a 2% salary increase. One is proposing a 3% salary increase. Both of them have the bonus in them, and that has some flexibility in terms of whether or not we provide the bonus this year or in FY27. And then really how we can use that bonus. Is it a retention bonus? And how much is that bonus going to be? Because as you all know, the way that works is when the state says they're giving us a bonus, they're giving us a bonus for all SOQ positions, which is far less than the number of staff members any school division employs. So we will take that money, hopefully be able to match those funds as best we can and provide the best bonus we possibly can, but it sounds promising. There's also some talk about possibly a 4% salary increase. Now, as you all know, our salary increase right now is up in the 5% range, right? Overall, it's 5.31% across the board, and at step 9 and above, it's 5.89%, I think it is. So that doesn't change. But if we end up getting more money from the state, whether it's a 2, 3, or 4% salary increase, that's more money for us to be able to offset the costs we're asking, the additional funds we're asking for from our local government. So the more we hear we're getting from the state, the lower the number gets for our request in terms of what we need from the local government to make our budget whole. So I'm hoping by, April 23rd, we get some information from the state. And I know I've had some conversations with Mr. Smolnick. They're also waiting for information locally. But I think at the beginning of April, he's going to have departments come over and speak with him about where we are in the budget process. So I'll gladly do that. So that's where we are with the budget right now. I did go over to the Board of Supervisors meeting last week, and I'm happy to report that the fund balance in the amount of $1.8 million was awarded back to the school division to include things like a local share for the state bonus that I just mentioned, activity fund reimbursements for our school. They reimbursed us for the snow removal estimate that we had for the Snowmageddon, or whatever people are calling that now. Reimbursement for school lunch debt. They covered the cost of the history and social science curriculum that we have to purchase moving forward. A camera project and a laptop replacement project at the high school, door repair and replacement, lawnmower replacement, the relocation of the existing greenhouse from behind the vocational center to the high school, and then finally the IEC tuition for 2026 and 2027 in the amount of $30,000 for 10 students for our second cohort of IEC electrical students. So you guys, that's amazing. That's really awesome that we have this working relationship right now with our local government. It's one that makes us fiscally responsible on the school board side. It's one that creates a strong relationship between both governing bodies. And it's one that really helps our local government as well, because many of those expenses I just mentioned really buys down the request that we give them in terms of the FY27 budget. So I think it's a win-win all around, and it's moving in the right direction. I'll stop there, Madam Chair. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Board comments? Mrs. Scott?
Yes, so first of all, I would like to thank all of the teachers and staff who are out here supporting all the students, all the CTE programs. We had the art contests, just everything that we recognized tonight. They did an excellent job. And I want to thank Dr. Burns for how he handled the Friday situation. I really appreciate that you were making sure the students were safe. And so also thankful to the King George Board of Supervisors for the fund balance and the things that we were able to fund there. Very much appreciative of that. I do want to address, there was a lot of public comment today, and I heard things regarding our JBB policy. And during that, I was just reviewing it again. That's a policy that is just common sense for acknowledging biological facts. And just want to say that, and also it makes sure that the parents are well involved and know what's going on with their students. So I just want to point out that that is, when I hear things like this policy discriminates, I don't see that in our policy. Other things that I heard from the public comment regarding there was a comment read about teachers talking about to students about political activities. That seemed to me to go against our GBG policy that we went over tonight. That was very concerning to me, and I think that warrants further investigation. And second, in the comments today, there were some Bible verses thrown out there. Galatians 3:28. They didn't talk about the entire verse. It says, "There's neither Jew nor Greek, there's neither slave nor free, there is no male or female, for you are all one in Christ." And she left out the last part of it. And that verse is talking to believers and saying you are all unified in Christ, and don't let these differences between you separate your unity. I really don't see how I feel like that verse was twisted for its own purpose, and I just don't want to let that one go. When they say that Jesus loved everybody, that's true. He did love everybody, but he did not encourage people to continue sinning. He said, repent. He said to the woman at the well, go and sin no more. And that's a very important part to remember as well. So I just, because that's a very important part of my faith, I just didn't want to let that one go without a little bit more to be said on that. Thank you.
Thank you. Mrs. Cleveland?
Yes, thank you. I just want to thank all of the speakers that came out tonight. Congratulations again to all the CTE students that were recognized. I also want to say thank you to all of the staff that are here joining us tonight. This is a long meeting, so appreciate you guys sticking it in with us. And also for all of the community members that came out tonight, it's nice to see a full house. So we really appreciate everyone's comments. I also wanted to say thank you to Dr. Boyd and team for all of the hard work that is going on to support the new VOTEC Center. It looks like there's a lot of work going on to get that to the finish line, and I so much appreciate all the work that's going on with that. Thank you for staying on that, and especially thank you to the Board of Supervisors for, I guess they're posting the RFP next week, did you say?
I think it's this week.
This week.
Yeah, within
so
a day or so.
That's pretty awesome.
They're
So
finalizing it today.
yeah, that's a big deal. So good job, guys. That's awesome. Thank you. That's all I have.
So I wanted to thank the Mrs. Redmond's class for their science project descriptions, and I also wanted to point out that Mrs. Redmond is one of many hometown heroes that we have. She graduated in 2009, I think, and I'm just so excited because there's so many students that are back, and I love that. And Mr. Kibler, also thanks for bringing your students out that were winners. In addition to all the other students, I can't even mention them all, but we have a lot of awesome and smart students. So the last few weeks have been busy for everybody. I definitely went to the middle school for the lifestyle fair, and it was amazing. I attended Grandparents' Day, which was awesome. It was different this year, but it was great. I was curious because I've been to like a gazillion of them, and it didn't disappoint. So thank you for that. Steam night was amazing. I really wish I had brought the kids with me because I was
She brought me.
I brought this kid with me, but there was so many people there, even though the weather was threatening. And thank you to all the students that make us look good because they're the reason that we're here, and I really appreciate you all. Also, comment about the lockdown. Thank you everyone for taking such quick action, and to the parents that complained that they didn't hear about it soon enough. I would like to point out that it was because their kids were using their cell phones and we didn't get an opportunity to get the word out because we were trying to resolve the situation. So that's just a side note. And Ms. Scott, I wanted to thank you for being such a just up and running member, because you have done so much in the last few months, and I appreciate you. And I appreciate everybody, but I know you came in with cold feet, not cold feet, green. How about that? And you really hit the ground running, and I thank you for that. That's all.
As always, like to thank the staff and teachers for all that you do. Also, for all who spoke tonight, thank you for the presentations, were fantastic. You mentioned Mrs. Redmond, she was also one of my students a few years ago. And for the work that we're putting into the update of the preschool, thank you, ladies, so very much. So very, very much. It's something that is definitely needed, and I think it will help us out tremendously, or help the kids out tremendously. Want to thank the Board of Supervisors for their support that they've been giving us throughout this whole budget, and also the VOTEC building. I think I went to every one, and you went to most of them. But at every meeting, at every school that we went to, there was a member from the county that was there. And that was fantastic. Dr. Boyd, one more thing. Can you educate us or me on homeschooling? Can we have a presentation? I mean, I understand that we have probably the highest homeschool rate in the area. Yeah, but what courses can they take? Can they play in sports? Can you educate us on all of that? I mean, it doesn't have to be at the next meeting, but sometime soon.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
All right, just want to say thank you to Father Francis De Rosa for coming out and saying our invocation and stepping up and doing that. Pastor Davis, thank you for just saying thank you. It means a lot when that's not heard as much from the crowd. Our student reps, I love seeing them. Logan's growing, even though he doesn't get up here, he's not able to get up here as much, just to see his confidence as he speaks and talks about the school, middle school. But Kylie was the one who my daughter won the staff basketball team game against MJ Basket. Yeah, sorry if you don't know them. But anyways, he was a grown man. She's 13 years old, but she gave him a run for his money. Anyways, I'm trying to look to see what else. Steam night was a blast. We went to Yvonne Richards' classroom. She had this cool game set up, and we actually won something. Like, you had to throw this dart and we won, didn't we? That was really fun. We won a keychain. Yeah, it was really cool. I don't care what I won. At least I won something. Dr. Burns, been hearing a lot about you, but it's been good. Just how you've been dealing with the parents and just different situations that's been coming your way in your direction. I've heard a lot of positivity, a lot of positive of how you're handling things, the way you follow up with parents and things like that. So that is huge. It's a huge, like when I say, hey, talk to Dr. Burns, and they can come back and say, he followed up, he called me yesterday. That really goes off like with my confidence. So I appreciate that. And if you have not met the football coach, he is so far, he's amazing. I'm super, super excited about him. School is very important to him. Grades are very important to him. And the family culture environment he was like, I don't even want you to complain that you're cold. We don't even do that. Don't stand in front of us and say, oh, it's cold in here. I was like, yes. So I'm excited to see what he does for this team and where it's going to go this year. He has big, big goals for it to go to the state, and I believe that it can. He was a part of taking Essex to states. He's going to take King George's State. I believe it. Right, Dr. Burns? Yeah. Oh, and he's wearing an NJRTC. That was incredible to think that we made first place. I'm sure if that's happened before, I don't know, but today I find out that we made, or maybe the last board meeting, First place in the, what was it? Air rifle. And then second place on the other thing. Like, that's amazing. Beat Mr. Ed's record.
National champions before.
Oh, you?
Yeah, national champions.
Oh, okay. You hear that, Mr. Callahan?
He knows.
On the presentation today.
Well, it said, yeah.
Best in 33 years.
Yeah, well, he was talking about drill. Yeah. Although that's changed, you know.
Friendly
changes over the
fire.
years.
Yeah.
Because
go ahead.
years, and this is getting too deep in the woods, but years ago, when you went to a competition, you didn't get the routine until about 3 days before the competition.
Oh.
So the students, the drill commanders had to learn those routines, and the students also in like 3 days. Now you have the same no matter what, and it's always been that way. But years ago, every school changed it. You know, so.
Reclaim my time. Just kidding.
There you go.
I've been watching too much of Judge Judy, I think. But anyways, I just want to say too, I want to make sure you guys know that I love you out there. You guys are doing great. Super excited to hear about all the work that's put into the preschool program, because that is a huge game changer for our 3 and 4 and 5-year-olds. And for the teachers too. I just want to, for the record, I want to state that no clubs have been banned in King George. None. We have clubs at our high school that they're saying are banned. There's no banned clubs in King George. Just putting that on the record. And we also have had conversations outside of school board with these students and their parents. Just want that for the record as well. And that's it. Thank you.
Madam Chair, Mayo, hopefully I didn't misstate what I was saying. That ROTC program we have right now is the best we've ever had. And it's because of those 2 individuals that are there. They are just fantastic. Not only within the classroom, but within the school as a whole as well. So yeah, they are doing some great things.
Grant just texted me. He's not mad at you. Also, we also have, I don't want to forget, we do have resources for our trans students. So when you're being told in the public eye that we don't have resources, we do have resources for them. There's not one staff member that will turn a student away because they're trans, and they'll embrace them. So that's a lie. That doesn't happen in our school either. So thank you for all your hard work, and thank you for staying out so late with us tonight. And can I get a motion?
Madam Chair, pursuant to state code.
Go ahead.
Section 2.2-3712A of the Code of Virginia, I move that the board convene in the closed meeting to review hires, substitutes, stipends, resignations, and retirements as permitted under 2.2-3711A, number 1 of the Code of Virginia.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
We are now in closed session. Y'all have a good night. Thank you. That was your cup? Yeah. What is it? I just gave my cup.
This cup?
What is it for?
Yes, it is yours. It's yours.
it is. It's your first time at church cup.
Yes, first time at church.
Pastor's giving away winter cups for first. Pastor Davis.
I move that the King George County School Board return to open session and certify that pursuant to State Code Section 2.2-3712D, only public business matters lawfully exempted from open meeting requirements under this chapter, and only such public business matters as were identified in the motion by which the closed meeting was convened were heard, discussed, or considered in the meeting by the public body.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Certify.
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 What? Actions resulting from the closed meeting have been approved. Now,
I move that we accept the
where are we?
actions resulting in the closed meeting.
I second.
As presented.
I second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
It's been approved.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Now adjourned.
We only have one meeting next month, right?
April is spring break. Yeah, one meeting. Yeah. I think. Let me double check that.
Yep, that's it.
13. Yeah.
Man, I have so many invitations to go
When
to
is spring
Creekside.
break? Is that next week?
That is next week.